Yes. Now we will start for the next topic. Okay. Next topic is just related about the history and all that things. So first of all, few definitions. Congenital disease. What is mean by the congenital diseases? Means congenital disease means disease which is present from the birth. Okay. For example, some newborn babies, they just born with the diabetes nowadays. Okay. Or a few newborn babies, they just born with the BP issues. Okay. So that type of the diseases which are present from the birth of that particular organism, that diseases is known as the congenital diseases. Then hereditary or familial diseases means what? See, the congenital diseases is different than the familial diseases. Hereditary diseases means what? Diseases which is derived from the your parents and transmitted to the you, okay, to the next generation. That is known as the hereditary diseases or familial diseases. Okay. Here also you can take the example of the diabetes and all that things. Okay. Suppose in your family, someone like your father, your grandfather is with the heart issue or is with the diabetic issue. Okay. Then there is a chances that it may transfer to you through the gametes which are passing through them. Okay. So that diseases are called as the hereditary or familial diseases. Now, important thing, not all congenital diseases are genetic. Okay. There are only few congenital diseases are genetic. Remaining congenital diseases means that gene particular responsible to cause that disease, it is present on the autosomes. Autosomes means the chromosomes which are differ from this X chromosome. Okay. So that kind of the means disease causing genes are present on the autosomes. So remember the thing, not all congenital diseases are the genetic. Okay. And not all genetic diseases are congenital. Okay. So this is the basic line. Yes. Then, yes. What are the major areas of the genetics? Okay. Means genetics are uh, explore to the three different kinds of the areas: classical genetics, molecular genetics, and evolutionary genetics. Okay. Yes. Now what is this classical genetics and what types of the topics are covered over here? What is molecular genetics? What is evolutionary genetics? Remember the thing that in your syllabus you have to learn all these topics from classical genetics also, molecular genetics also, and evolutionary genetics also. Okay. So all these topics you have to study under your syllabus. Okay. So what are the three major areas of the genetics? So you can give the answer. There are three major areas: classical, molecular, and evolutionary. So what kind of the topics cover under the classical genetics? Okay. Mendel's principle. Now Mendel's is a name of the scientist, okay, who put forth the three different laws which is called as the Mendelian laws. Okay, we have to learn that laws. Then next, cell division. Okay, you know already what is mean by the cell. Now how that cell will divide. Okay, so cell division by the process of meiosis and the mitosis. Okay, then sex determination. Yes. Then the sex linkage. First of all, what is mean by the linkage? Okay. Then what is mean by the sex linkage? Then chromosomal mapping. Okay, you can map the particular type of the chromosome. So how that method, what are that methods? You have to learn that. Then cytogenetics. Cytogenetics means what? The study of chromosome. Okay, cytogenetics means the study of chromosomes. Okay, so you have to study the chromosome properly. All these topics are covered under the classical genetics. The next one is the molecular genetics. Under the molecular genetics, you must have aware about the structure of DNA, then chemistry of DNA, what is mean by transcription, what is mean by translation. Okay, this all four topics, no? DNA cloning and genomics also. This, I think molecular genetics topic, most of the topics you have covered in your molecular biology. Okay, like what is the structure of DNA and what kinds of the um, uh, what conformation is there. Okay, what is the transcription process, what type of the factors required for that, what is the translation process, what type of the factors required for that purpose. Okay, then what is mean by DNA cloning. Okay, so these topics will cover in your molecular biology. But molecular genetics means what? The topic related to this topic you have to study. Okay, like control of gene expression. Okay, so that one. Then mutation is a very big topic. Okay, you have to learn what is mean by the mutation, what are the different kinds of the mutations. Okay, then extra chromosomal inheritance, this is also one of the interesting topic. Okay, extra chromosomal inheritance means what? Rather than our chromosome, there is a something material which is transferring from parent to us. Okay, up till now what we have learned, that genetic material is transferred from our parent to us, right? But apart from that genetic material, there is a something, another material also, which is transferring from your parents to you. Okay, anybody knows what is that? That is known as extra chromosomal inheritance. Okay, so basically remember that yes, from your mother and your father, your their genetic material is transferred to you. Okay, but the mitochondria, do you know mitochondria?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. So that mitochondria na, it is totally transfer from your mother to you. Okay, so mitochondria is not transfer from father to you. Mitochondria, it is a cell organelle which is only transferred to you by your mother. Okay, and the cytoplasm. Okay, cytoplasm is also used of your mother. Okay, now while forming the zygote, okay, what is the first step? Fusion of sperm and egg. Okay, this is the first step before forming the zygote, right? So when the sperms enter into the female body, it will approaches to the egg, which is well developed. Okay, and it will try to penetrate the wall of the egg. Okay, so after penetrating, the only nucleus of the sperm, remember the thing, only nucleus of that sperm is transferred to the egg, only nucleus. Okay, so that whatever the cell organelle which are required, means mitochondria and all that things, basically mitochondria, underline this sentence. Okay, mitochondria and the cytoplasm, okay, which is used for the development of zygote, that are from your mother egg. Okay, means whatever the another material required for the formation of the zygote, it will provided by the mother egg, and father sperm only provide the nucleus of their cell. Okay, and in the nucleus what is there? Only genetic material. So your father only provide you the genetic material, remaining all stationary which is required, which is provided by your mother cell. Okay, yes, so that we have to study under the extra chromosomal inheritance. The next is evolutionary genetics. Evolutionary genetics means you have to study what is mean by evolution. Who are the scientists who put forth the theories of evolution? Okay, what is speciation? What is the species? Okay, then what is Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium? This is a one type of the equilibrium you have to study properly, and it is like the p square plus q square is equal to p square plus 2pq plus q square. Okay, actually it look like some mathematical term, but it's not a mathematical term. It's somewhat related to the your evolution and ecology. Okay, I will explain at that point. Yes, so you have to learn all these things. Then quantitative genetics. Okay, you have to learn this quantitative genetics under this evolutionary genetics. Okay, so these are the three different branches or three different main areas of your genetics, and you have to study all these things. Yes, we'll go one by one very shortly. Okay, classical genetics means what? There is, I told you, there is a one scientist known as the George Mendel. Okay, this George Mendel, he first of all work on the particular genetics topic. Okay, so in which year? 1866. Okay, he first of all do the work or experiment on the particular pea plant. Pea plant means it is known as Pisum sativum. Okay, in scientific language it is known as Pisum sativum. Okay, it is a garden pea plant on which the scientist has done his work. You have to study all these things. Okay, yes. So what basically he studied? What he do? He take a pea plant. Okay, he choose a pea plant for his experiment. Then what he do? He choose one tall plant and one dwarf plant of the pea plant only. Okay, he chooses the pea plant. From that pea plant, he chooses one tall plant and one dwarf plant, and he started to crossing out in between them. Okay, one tall and one dwarf plant. Then what type of the result he means, what type of the results he was able to see. Okay, that type of the result you have to study. Okay, so accordingly there are the different kinds of the rules, like the, or there are three kinds of the law. Okay, law of segregation, law of independent assortment, and all that thing you have to study. Okay. Yes. uh, so after crossing this parent, one tall plant and one dwarf plant, what kind of the progeny you will get, or what kind of the F1 generation you will get? Capital T and small t. Okay, means that plant physically it look tall. Okay, physically it look tall, but it also has the gene of the dwarf plant. Okay, so actually you have to study these things in details. Okay, uh, I'm just explaining you one example of each and every branch. Okay, then evolutionary genetics. Evolutionary genetics means what? That evolution is what? Evolution is just change in allelic frequency in the population over the time. Okay, change in allelic frequencies means what? Suppose there is a particular allelic pair um, which is present in particular animal. Okay, but after few generation, the number or the frequency of that allele to be present in that DNA or chromosome is increased. Okay, or it is decreased. Okay, this is related to the evolution. Yes, you have to study this. Then there is a particular scientist, Charles Darwin. Okay, he put forth the theory of natural selection. So what is the natural selection? You have to study at the time of this topic. Okay, yes. Then history. Okay, I 1 to 2 questions will come about the history. Okay, so before going to history, I think